Donald Trump. How was he?
It was a really good meeting. We had dinner together.
You have a burger? Or steak? Doesn't he have steak
He didn't have
meal?
steak on that occasion. He had chicken. He flew up from Florida, and we both wanted to ensure that we have a good relationship. That was the purpose of the dinner. And
did he feel like a man you could do business with if he was to win?
Look, of course, because it's up to the American people to choose who they want as their president. And it's up to me as Prime Minister to make sure I have a good relationship with whoever the president is. The special relationship that we do have between our two countries sits above whoever the post holder is at any given time. Mm-hmm. And it's in my nature. I believe strongly in personal relations.
Donald Trump just published a harsh article that infuriated Starmer. This is a real diplomatic disaster, which has put our Prime Minister in a deep crisis. But what exactly did Trump say? And more importantly, what threats is he making? Let's get this straight. Trump is talking about a 25% tax on everything we ship to the United States. That's it. This is a devastating blow to our economy. Imagine this, a 25% increase in prices for British Range Rovers in the American market could lead to a catastrophic drop in sales. Trump isn't just threatening us with tariffs, he's attacking us personally. Neither did Starmer. He calls our Prime Minister's leadership weak. The President of the United States is actually calling our Prime Minister a wimp. Starmer, of course, is trying to keep his cool. He's doing what politicians do when they pretend that everything is fine while everything around them is on fire. But let's be honest, we're not idiots.
Listen, my advice to Keir Starmer is to stop being an idiot because, listen, Keir Starmer and half of the cabinet voted against President Trump's state visit last time round. We've got so many of members of the cabinet, David Landry notably, having carried out vitriolic and ridiculous personal attacks on Donald Trump. They're all now desperately trying to backtrack and they're all desperately trying to suck up to President Trump. You know, at best, they're going to be irrelevant. But at worst, they have done great harm to the UK's national interest. So they've got to grow up, stop playing petty student politics, and actually stand up for the UK, get a free trade agreement, work on ensuring our military and security agreements are robust, and learn the lessons of how Donald Trump is securing their border for a start.
It's not hard to imagine what will happen next, isn't it? You're probably wondering what, if any, Starmer's plan is. In my opinion, he just hopes that Trump will get bored and switch to someone else. Every time Trump attacks Starmer and doesn't get a real response from him, it causes serious damage to Britain's reputation. We are starting to look weak on the world stage, and nobody's happy about it. Right now, Starmer has more than just worries about Trump. The whole world looks askance at him, and it's about our safety. Can Starmer really protect Britain? Everyone is concerned about this issue. Let's talk about numbers for a second. According to the Office for National Statistics, there has been a significant increase in violent crime in England and Wales recently. Do you remember the recent high-profile incidents such as in Southport? Yes, it did not attract much attention on the world stage. 3 innocent people have died, and this makes us wonder if our justice system can continue to protect the innocent. And let's not forget that the Crown Prosecution Service missed its chance. Take the case of Axel Ruda-Kubana. Do you remember Brexit? Have we decided to leave the EU? So it seems that Starmer has serious amnesia because he behaves as if Brexit never happened. He is considering joining the Pan-Euro-Mediterranean Convention, a duty-free trade scheme with Europe and North Africa. He talks about closer ties with the EU and has even started consultations with businesses. But Trump calls it a betrayal. And you know what? Many British people agree with him. It looks like Starmer is trying to repair relations with the EU after an unpleasant divorce from Brexit.
Since our first meeting in September, the President and I have spoken about the need to deepen and invest in the transatlantic relationship. We will continue to build upon the unshakable foundations of our historic alliance as we tackle together the global challenges we face and take our partnership to the next level, focused on shared opportunities ahead for growth. I look forward to our next meeting as we continue our shared mission to ensure the peace, prosperity, and security of our two great nations. The special relationship between the United Kingdom and the United States will continue to flourish for many years to come.
This guy has been repeatedly prosecuted for violence, and what happened? They couldn't prevent his crimes. You know, it's serious when countries like Australia and Japan think twice before sharing intelligence with us. These are our allies. They are concerned that the Starmer government cannot keep the situation under control, and can you blame them for that? When it's not safe on our own streets, how can they trust us with confidential information? But here's the catch. Is Starmer's reaction to all this? He continues to claim that everything is under control. Come on, buddy. Who are you kidding? The numbers don't lie, and neither do the headlines in the newspapers. The crime rate is rising, people are scared, and our international reputation is in a deplorable state. Now it's not just Trump who's hitting us. We have leaders from all over the world who doubt Starmer's ability to maintain order. Australia, Japan, and even France are all surprised. And you know what? They have their reason. When was the last time you felt really safe walking down the street at night? The worst part is that all this criticism only reinforces Trump's attacks. He no longer just calls Starmer a wimp, he points to the rising crime rate. It seems that Starmer has a new obsession, and Trump is not happy about it.
I will deal with whoever is the president of America.
It's very possible that Donald Trump will return to the White House at the start of the next year. Your team has, I think, quite close links to parts of the Biden administration. Have you had any contact with the Trump team?
Well, look, you're right, we do have close links with the Biden administration. That is very important to us, particularly in terms of our history, our traditions and our values as a Labour Party. But ultimately, later this year, it falls to the American people to decide who they want as their president, and I will deal with whoever is the president of America. The special relationship, the long-standing relationship that we've had, not least on nuclear deterrence, is far stronger than the identity of the next president of the US.
Have you had any outreach or ties with the Trump campaign, the Trump operation so far?
No.
The Trump team is furious about Starmer's actions. His desire for rapprochement with the EU is perceived as Britain's return to weakness and dependence, and let's be honest, they're right. We've spent years trying to break out of the EU's control, and now Starmer is acting like he wants to go back. Trump uses this to make Starmer look anti-American, and it works. People are starting to doubt which side he's really on. Worst of all, this crisis in the EU could cost us billions of dollars in trade with the United States. For example, the ongoing negotiations on a trade agreement between the UK and the USA. If Starmer adheres too strictly to EU standards, it may make it impossible for American products to enter our market. Trump is not joking. He threatens to completely exclude us from potential trade deals with the United States if Starmer continues in the same spirit.
So Keir Starmer, the United States and France are Britain's biggest allies. You become Prime Minister, there could be a world in which Trump and Marine Le Pen are in office. How would you feel about this?
It's for voters in America and France to decide who they want as their leaders. And if I'm privileged enough to come into office to serve this country, I will deal with the leaders of other countries as they've been elected in by those that live there and those that voted them in.
But it's not just about money. It's about our place in the world. Starmer makes us look weak, indecisive and unreliable. 1 minute we're leaving the EU and the next we're trying to get back in through the back door. It's embarrassing, and Trump is enjoying every minute of it. He uses Starmer's obsession with the EU to prove himself right about Brexit. Polls show that a significant portion of the population agrees with Trump. They are worried that Starmer is going to sell our sovereignty and ruin our trade relations just for the sake of Brussels' approval. Can you imagine? We can miss out on huge economic opportunities just because Starmer can't resist flirting with the EU. He has started a fight in which he cannot win, and this time with Trump. The goal? Peter Mandelson, Starmer's choice for the post of British ambassador to the United States, but Trump doesn't have any of that.
Well, I'm going to see him in about an hour, so I have to be nice, right? But I actually think he's very nice. I think he ran a great race. He did very well. It's very early, but he's popular, and I'll be seeing him, and I'll send you regards.
So why is Trump so worried about Mandelson? It turns out that our potential ambassador has quite close ties with China, and we all know how Trump treats China. Did Starmer really think that Trump would just accept it without objection? Starmer is trying to defend his choice, arguing that Mandelson will bring unsurpassed experience to this role. But the Trump team didn't buy it. Nigel Farage, Trump's buddy, is also adding fuel to the fire. He expresses serious concern about Mandelson's ties with China. It seems that Starmer has provided Trump and his team with the perfect ammunition. Even Starmer's fellow party members are questioning his decisions. Some Labour members are wondering what he was even thinking when he put forward his candidacy. It looks like he's trying to alienate everyone, including his own team. Trump likes it. He uses this Mandelson story to show everyone how bad Starmer's judgment really is. Share your thoughts in the comments. See you later.